Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Force here, and today we will be taking a look at Wasteland 2, the upcoming top-down turn-based RPG that is a direct sequel to 1988's post-apocalyptic RPG Wasteland. The game is being developed by inXile Entertainment, a studio that consists of many of the key figures who worked on the original game. The game is now available for backers of the Kickstarter campaign, in which they actually raised nearly $3 million. Clearly lots of interest in this title. It's also available through Steam's Early Access. Now I've got myself a copy of that version of the game. I wanted to show you some gameplay. I spent a bunch of time with it this afternoon. I did a live stream and I had some fun, so I'd like to show you what this game is all about. So let's start off here. We have got our crew. This is the team we're rolling around with. You actually start off by selecting a group of 4. You can either make your own, or there's a few templates in which you're able to select some basic classes like a sniper, a bruiser, a tech specialist, things like that. They've got different stats, different weapon proficiencies, different abilities, and before we jump in, I'd just like to quickly go over the interface. Down here in the lower right, you've got this log of your actions, events, conversations that have taken place. So as we go throughout the course of this video, you're going to see this typewriter thing fill up with information. Upper right-hand corner, we've got the mini-map of the current location. There's also a radio scanner in which you can call back to home base to give an update or get more information, or you can scan the radio waves. Haven't found a use for that yet, but I'm assuming you can pick up on different frequencies and probably have strange conversations. Down here in the lower left, you've got representation for your weapon. Now there's 2 weapon slots, so you're able to switch weapons. I'm doing that right there. There we go. So switch the weapon that you're using. And right now I just have fist and a weapon for this guy. But you can pick up alternate weapons. You can pick up, bladed weapons. So if I want a pistol or walk around with a dagger, once I find these things, I can equip them for the character. Also, an icon to attack a enemy or even a friend, and that's all sorts of craziness. Reloading for combat, a little bit of information such as the action points for a shot. You've got the rounds, shots fired per burst, for example, the damage range, ammunition that you have, different firing modes, the ability to reload. This is the characters, so all the characters in our party here, we can switch which ones we have selected. And then we've got some basic things like either selecting a group or an individual, whether you want them to walk or run. There's the inventory you can pop up, and then each individual character has a personal hotbar, which you can store things like bandages, blood packs, which are used to heal up. Then they've got some special abilities, each of these characters. Like this one's got the ability to surgeon to repair wounds, got brute force to bust through doors, stuff like that. Okay, so that's a quick overview of the user interface. You can also see early beta build, number 28396. So let's just jump into the gameplay. So I've got my camera here, I'm able to zoom out, zoom in. Basically, this is the first mission you come across in the game, and we're trying to find out what happened to a fellow ranger who was murdered. We want to see how that happened, and just get some information from the local area. So we're just gonna be moving out with our troop, and we're gonna see what happens. All right, it looks like there's a little glowing thing over there. Let's see what this is. A little dialogue, characters will respond to what's going on in the environment, the situation, engaging with enemies as the story progresses, all that sort of stuff. So we found a little, what is this here? It's low branches, and it looks like there is a star with the words Desert Ranger on it. So let's go ahead and pick that up. So here's the Ranger Star. We can take all this. This is going to happen whenever you're looting something, whether it's a corpse or a container. This will pop up. It shows you what's in it. And there's also area loot. So if there's multiple things that you can loot, like if you've killed a lot of enemies, there'll be a tab that shows all the enemies, and then you can go through and pick them all up quickly as opposed to clicking on them all individually. So we're going to pick up the Ranger Star, and this is the star that belongs to the person we're trying to find out more information onto as to how he died. So that's, his name is Ace, and Angela here says, "Oh, that was Ace's star, really sad. How the hell did it end up all the way over here?" Okay, so we've got a fork in the road. We can decide if we want to go left or right, and you can see I've got free control over the camera. I'm gonna choose to go ahead and go right here. And then we will be encountering, first of all, a couple of bodies, so we can investigate those. Lots of different things you can investigate with in the environment. When you mouse over it, if it's something you can check out, there'll be a clear indicator there. So we've got this little thing. We'll right-click to examine it, and it looks like, yeah, man got stabbed in the gut. That's sad. This person didn't pay the scrap. Scrap is the currency in this game, so different items have different scrap value, and there's a trading system and things of that nature. And then this person, bullet wounds in the head. How unfortunate. Okay, so we've got a group of raiders coming up here. You can see these guys just kind of hanging out. They've got their funny haircuts, and they're walking around with dangerous looking weapons and things like that. So I'd just like to show you here. I'm just going to start walking forward and watch what happens. Raider says, hey, go pay the toll, Wastelander. The guy is near the tower. So at this point, I have a decision. I can go back over here, find the tower that he's talking about, and try to pay the toll. But watch what happens if I keep walking forward. Hey, asshole, go pay the toll. So I could, again, listen to him and go pay the toll. Or I can ignore him and keep walking forward. And then he says, kill this prick. And then we engage in a fight. So you saw that little thing, the screen kind of blurred, and it said encounter begins, and thus starts the fight. Now, we could have approached that all sorts of different ways. We could have gone back and paid the toll. I also could have set up my characters and just engaged in these guys. I didn't have to wait for this whole thing to occur. Now, obviously, the first time you encounter a situation that you won't necessarily know what's going to trigger an enemy, but there's a pretty good indication. I mean, it seemed pretty obvious that he was not happy with me not paying the toll. So in not paying the toll, I was going to have to deal with some ramifications, and that is us engaging in combat. So we've got 3 enemy combatants here, and what will happen is you can see right over here, this shows the attack order, the order in which you're going to be attacking. So I've got 1 attack, and then 2 enemies are going to go, and then it'll be time for the rest of my team. So the first guy in order is this guy right here, and there are multiple enemies for me to hit. So what I can do is I can tab through them. You're going to notice a percentage chance to hit. I could also switch my weapons here. So I'm currently using this long range weapon. If I decided to switch over to fist, I could also go over here and try to punch. But as you can see, when I mouse over a guy, there shows a little indicator there. See this right over here, and that shows you a bit of information. It shows you how many attack points. So there's AP. I've got 9 AP for this character for this turn. So it would take 5 for me to walk over and punch him, but you can see I only have a 50% chance to hit, and it only does 2 to 3 damage. I'm just not very good at punching. So we're gonna switch back here to the weapon. This takes 6. I'm sorry. This takes 5. Oh no, this does take 6 AP. I don't know why. Oh, it's because I had to refresh. This takes 6 AP, but I've got a 77% chance to hit, and it does 10 to 12 damage. Now, you're always going to have to make a decision because, you know, ammo can be hard to find, especially in the harder difficulties. So even though it's a lesser chance to hit, you might still want to just go ahead and punch the guy. But right now, for the sake of this video, we're just going to be shooting people. So I'm going to shoot this guy. I've got the highest percent chance to hit him. So we're just going to double click, and look at that. 1 shot, 1 kill. Fantastic. Now I've got 3 more AP for this character, and I can't shoot with that. And it's also not enough for me to stab people. So what I can do is, if I want, I can go ahead and use the rest of my AP to go take cover, for example. All right, so now it's the enemy's turn. This guy gets a couple shots. Luckily, he missed both of those. And now it is our turn. How very exciting. So I got 14% chance to hit that, 69% chance to hit that. An attack with this weapon uses 3 AP. So we're going to have 2 attacks before we don't have any more available. So there's the first one that misses. Second one that hits, that's good. I've got 2 more AP. Let's just move with that. And then it's my next character's turn. This character is a bruiser. He is all about getting up in people's faces and smacking them with pipes, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. This guy's out of range. I won't be able to do it. Unfortunately, this guy's only a 65% chance to hit, but let's give it a shot because we do some massive damage. We missed, and we don't have enough AP to finish him off, so we're just going to pass his turn. And now we've got this guy over here. So that's how it works. It goes through the order. You've got your different characters. They have different weapons. They have different specialties, and you just need to get yourself in a good position. Try to take out your enemy. Now, friendly fire is a thing. So right now, you can see my guy is directly in the line of fire. So there's a chance that in shooting the enemy, I could hit my friend. Let's see if it happens. It did not, but it has happened before. So I just wanted to let you guys know, in case that happened, you wouldn't think Force, you're a complete idiot. Although you probably still think that for me even trying, knowing that friendly fire does happen. All right, so there's the enemy's turn. He hits one guy, moves along, and hits us. Wow, very effective turn for that guy. We got a 100% chance to hit this, so let's go ahead and shoot. And we get 2 shots because it's only 5 AP a shot, so let's go ahead and take that second, and that finishes the enemy. And now this guy, 0% chance to hit? What? All right, let's move you over 1 spot. Only a 42% chance to hit. This guy, I guess, just has crazy evasion to bullets at close range. Or it's probably because of the type of weapon that I'm using, you know? That actually, maybe that's more what it is. Maybe if I'd moved further away, it would have had a better chance, but oh well. So he's going to take a couple rounds to the face, this guy. I've got a revolver, so I'm assuming the closer I am, the better. Yeah, there we go. Nice chance there. Couple shots off, and then this guy with a melee out of range. Unfortunately, I don't have a pistol backup because I just started. This is a brand new game. Again, this is one of these first available missions. So for his turn, we will just move him to behind this guy so that next time, if he's not dead by the time next turn comes, I'll have a nice flanking shot. Really close here, 70% chance to hit. Let's go ahead and take it. There's the first shot, second shot, can't do, not enough AP. Do I have enough to fist him? To hit him with my fist? No, I do not. So we pass the turn, 100% chance. Let's see if I get friendly fire because we're in line of sight. We do not, but we do get the kill. So that is a fight. Great example of a fight. It is done now. We can go ahead and loot the enemy corpses. Every single character has an individual inventory. I'm gonna pick just one of these guys, I guess, and we'll have him pick it up. So I'm gonna run over, pick this up. You'll notice this green radius. This is where the area loot encompasses, in which you can cycle through any corpses on the ground that you can potentially loot. So we got a bunch of stuff. We got some scrap. Once again, that's the currency. It also shows the scrap value of something. So I get this revolver. It's worth 5 currency. Get some ammunition and then also some energy cells. Move on to the next guy. We got a knife and some energy cells. Got some scrap, another revolver, and then some rounds. Okay, so we won our first fight. We killed some enemies, and I also know there's something over here that I'd like to show you. So we have got a crate. Now this crate, as we investigate, okay, so here's a crate. We can, it's locked. All right, that's unfortunate. We'll right-click on it, get some information about it. That just says me the same thing. Okay, so if you have someone who is specialized in being able to lockpick, then I could open this. Unfortunately, I do not have that option. Now, I do have the brute force option, which works at blowing up in certain inanimate objects, but this is not one of them. He cannot punch through locked things like that. So that's something that, because of my character makeup, because I don't have someone who is capable of lockpicking, I've got someone who can disarm alarms, I've got the outdoorsman specialty, I've got the brute force, which is like knocking down doors, I've got perception, which lets me see things I can interact with, like this one. You'll notice how it highlights it, because it's within range that I can interact with. I have got med to heal people up, and another outdoorsman, but no one to pick locks. So again, it's something that if I had the proper team composition, I could do that, but I don't, so I can't. And maybe that's you know, some information for you guys watching this. If you pick up the game, maybe get someone who can pick locks, because that really sucks that I can't do that. All right, so we're gonna make our way, that's the first area, first engagement. We're gonna make our way up through this pass over here, because there's a little cave that I really wanna show you. And is this a locked one too? I don't really remember. No, it is not a locked one. So there's an example of a chest that's not locked. We can just straight up open it. Get ourselves some buckshot, as well as some blood pack, which is for healing. And you'll notice our guys are injured from that fight, because we took some damage. It does appear that they heal over time, or you can use things like med kits. So this guy's 11 of 20. I can go ahead and use some of these pain relievers. Gonna double click on that. And wait a second, what just happened? I wanted to use it. I'm gonna click on this and click on him, and then he is going to use it on himself. So it's just gonna be a cast time. You'll notice that health bar increases, gets to the top, completes, and he is healed up. Fantastic, okay. But I do believe that they heal naturally over time, at least from the 3 hours that I played, there were instances where it looked like that was the case. All right, so we got a cave over here. I'm gonna see what this is all about. Walk inside. All right, here we go. I'm just walking forward, just a cave, just a cave. Different environments. There's also multiple levels in certain areas where you can go upstairs in a building and things of that nature. Got a chest over here that we could open, but whoa, whoa, whoa. What is that? That's a toad. It's a toad guarding some crazy robotic body. Very interesting. So we're gonna go ahead and have our entire group engage with the toad. All right, fire, please. There we go. So now the encounter begins. So that's something you can do if you're coming up to a situation and you see that there's a fight, or you know that did you see what he just did? He just stole our weapon. This toad has the ability to steal weapons. So for example, if you're coming up on a bandit camp, like that first example, we could decide to engage before we even get close enough for the enemy to respond. You're able to sort of get the drop on people, which is it's pretty cool if you know. But I guess that's a problem. I don't always know if the people that we're walking up to are friend or foe. So sometimes you just wait to find it out. Sometimes you shoot first, ask questions later. All right, so here we go. We're gonna fight the toad now. Yeah, just start shooting people. We got 1 of 4, so I'm able to shoot this guy before I have to reload. And reloading takes up a certain amount of AP. Like right now, you can see I don't have enough AP to reload at the moment, so we're just gonna have to end his turn. Move on over to this guy, 70% chance. We can go ahead and actually, why don't we switch this up? Change the firing mode so we can change it to 3 rounds per shot. Let's see if this hits. Should do some nice damage. There we go, very nice. And we don't have enough, so we'll end that turn. And this person just automatically shoots. It seems strange. I don't know what forces that, but there are certain characters that will sometimes just automatically. Oh, you lost your weapon, right? So you can't. Let me go into the inventory here. I wonder if I can do this during combat. I actually don't know. I'm gonna pull up the full inventory and see if we can give her a weapon. No, it doesn't look like it's letting me pull up the inventory for our other characters right now. Okay, so she is just gonna punch. We're just gonna have her walk forward and do some punching. And then lastly, we've got the melee guy. He's got a 65% chance to hit. If he does, it'll probably be a kill, and it is. Toad has been destroyed. They gain experience, you'll eventually level up. Leveling up will then allow you to go into your character panel and spend points on, so for example, you level up, you'll get 4 points, and you can spend those points on upgrading any of your combat skills, any of your knowledge skills, or any of your general skills. And you're able to, again, siphon through all of the different characters that you have. And in terms of their experience gain, you can see that right here. This is the experience they gained. That's the experience for level. They level up, they get points. It also shows their condition, and since we're here in the inventory, I might as well show you it now. So each individual personal inventory, you can sort by all, or you can filter through different types like weapons, armor, ammo, items, usable items. There's the junk. There's also favorites that you can do once your inventory gets full. There's an inventory capacity. For example, she has used 15 out of 124 potential pounds. Also the water per the character, their condition, which is their health, their XP to level. We've got slots for gear. Looks like a helm, chest, pant, and armor spot. There's a spot for trinkets as well as a radiation suit, and that's your water canister. And these are the 2 different weapons. She had her weapon taken by a giant frog tongue. We'll go ahead and take care of that. There's also a logbook. I don't even know what this is supposed to show. Oh, quest, I guess, essentially. Looks like that's quest, okay. All right, so that is the inventory system. Let's go ahead and loot this froggy and get our revolver back. And then we can also go ahead and pick this chest open. There's some scraps, our currency system. And then over here, some of the story stuff. There's the robot. Crazy robot. Did something to our partner. What the heck is going on? It's absurd. And just outside of the robot, we also have this chest, which we can loot. And this is a repeater unit. This is specifically the item we were looking for here on this quest. So we'll pick that up, and that's going to allow us to then call in to home and tell them, hey, we have the repeater unit. What do you want us to do with it next? However, before I do that, also got a map here to this special nomad camp. Before I do that, and I don't want to, actually I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm not gonna call home. Oh, apparently it happened automatically. Okay, here we go.
10-4 Echo 1, got an update for me?
All right, so we're gonna update him. We're gonna tell him that we found the repeater units that we were looking for.
What?
Oh yeah, there's also a crazy robot. A dead robot, looks like it killed Ace and stole the repeater and logbook. Okay, and then we'll tell.
But our priority is still those repeaters.
Alright, so we're gonna get the repeaters. We need to go to the AG Center or High Pool, and that's the story stuff.
Roger.
And we'll just go ahead and copy. And I think that'll pretty much do it. We've got another engagement. I'll just walk towards that. And we'll probably go out on that. But yeah, I just wanted to show you a little bit of gameplay here from Wasteland 2. I've been enjoying what there is available thus far. Now keep in mind, if this is something you're looking into, it's looked, you know, what you've seen here is pretty much complete, but there's definitely some bugginess. It is early access. It is a backer version of the game. It is not anywhere near complete. So if you do buy in, if you decide to get the early access, which is available right now on Steam for $59.99, pretty pricey, I have to say, but if it's something you want to get into right now while they're in development and you want to help the development team make this game as good of a game as possible, then that's what early access is for. I'm not even trying to sell it here to you. I'm just explaining what early access is. That's the point. If you're so interested in a game that you want to go through the bugs and help them develop it, then that's what you can do. And that's the point that this game is at the moment. I've experienced some bugs. I've experienced some weird textures. It's probably not fully optimized, but all around I think it's been pretty fun. I love the setting. I mean, Wasteland was the inspiration for the Fallout series, for God's sakes, and you know how big Fallout is, and also the sheer fact that the Kickstarter for this game raised nearly $3 million tells me that lots of people are really excited about this. And yeah, I'm gonna keep tabs on it. I'll keep you guys updated if I keep on playing it, give you some further information. But this has been a look at Wasteland 2. Once again, currently available for Steam's early access. There's a bunch of extra stuff you get if you buy into early access, like a free copy of Wasteland 1. There's some music, some digital art concept, fun stuff like that. But all that stuff isn't nearly as important as shooting this guy is. I want to shoot this guy. Shoot him. Yes! Oh, it's so good. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Keep watching and keep owning. I have got to get a bunch of guys over here. We're going to see them. I'm going to spread out my team. I need them to get in some good positions here for the upcoming engagement. Oh no, you are still without weapons. Oh no, I forgot to equip her. That is stupid, stupid, stupid. These guys are in some trouble, huh? And well, we get our bruiser. He'll take care of business.